Welcome to a Delco Nerd Network podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Ragucci, and here with a few friends from the Delaware County area. We get in a basement and we talk about a certain topic. Today's topic, the legacy of Arrow. Back again, 2 in a row. Bill Zografidis.
I guess 2 in a row.
2 in a row.
I feel special.
2 podcasts, not even a review. Yep. Even though we're going to be kind of reviewing the final season of Arrow, which finished on Tuesday night. So I feel like I don't even want to dance around the fact of spoilers. We're going to go in hard for Arrow in its entirety, but we're probably going to talk about the final season first. Bill, what do you think?
Are we going final season or just like the finale?
Let's talk about the finale,
okay.
And it'll probably back into the.
I mean, for what they had to work with, it was okay.
I would agree.
It wasn't like your traditional finale because obviously, spoilers. Oliver Queen's dead.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
But
I didn't know that.
I'm sorry to ruin it for you. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was cool. There was a lot of cool like little things that happened in there.
I think the most interesting thing was Ragman.
That's what you think was the most interesting thing?
Like it was just like
like he came out of nowhere.
Nowhere. Yeah. Interesting.
I wouldn't say
interesting in like an not awkward, but like an odd sort of sense.
Yeah,
like, oh yeah, remember Ragman? Yeah, Rory.
Oh, he's back.
He's back. Yeah,
just for the last episode.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, the rags are working again. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Ragman.
Who's in season 5 that I just started watching?
Yeah,
that's where he started.
Yeah, but he's only in that season. I think he leaves.
He leaves like mid-season.
Yeah, it's his departure is so weird. But yeah, I enjoyed the last episode. I think there's some really cool parts of it, and it is like I like those moments where the characters all come together, like the funeral or the wake or whatever you want to call it. Like when it's like, okay, so we're on Earth Prime Earth. Moira didn't get killed.
No.
The Queen Mansion is still there.
Tommy's alive.
Yeah, who married Laurel, who is not dead. Found out the only reason. Wait, what did I just say? Not
Laurel's
dead.
dead.
Yeah, Laurel's dead. Earth 1 Laurel stayed dead because of the Green Arrow and the Canary show.
Well, also because
that's
they
why
combined the 2 universes.
Right, but there was an article saying the reason the original Laurel did not come back was because Earth 2 Laurel is going to be, Black Canary and the Green Arrow and the Canary show.
Well, yeah, because there's no Earth 2 anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they couldn't bring like 2.
Right.
It wouldn't make sense.
No. Lance is alive.
Yeah, he's back. Who else? I think that's it, right? Just those 3.
Is Malcolm dead? Merlin?
No, I don't think so.
I'm surprised he wasn't in it.
Nah, because they kept him the villain. Like it doesn't seem like too much change. So like it would be weird if the Dark Archer just happened to be like at Oliver's
but he's
funeral.
Still like Thea's dad,
right.
That whole thing. I don't know.
But yeah, Kara and Barry were
come
there.
A little late.
I like the Felicity though.
She was Felicity.
Yeah, right. I kind of liked very slimly. I liked her like not want to meet Mia.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand it. It is.
I thought it was an interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
I actually liked Mia by the end of this whole thing.
So did I. I've liked her the whole time. So
there was just I think it was just something off to me. Maybe it was because she was getting her own show that was kind of like, you're not replacing Holly.
No, but I don't think they're trying to do that.
No, they're not.
Yeah. Are you gonna say it?
Green Lantern, though, dude.
I saw the pause and I knew it was coming,
dude.
But they're not gonna do anything with it.
Well, who knows?
Everyone
HBO Max
knows.
Green Lantern show.
They're not gonna bring in Diggle.
Why?
Because I'm assuming they want bigger names for it.
I mean, like obviously Hal Jordan, Jon Stewart,
right?
Guy Gardner. Who's the other one?
Well, they said it's just gonna be Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, I don't know.
I thought that's what came out. I might be wrong though.
I don't think that specific. Who's the last guy? Gardner.
Oh.
Fuck. Is it Ed? No, I don't know. There's one more Green Lantern that's big. But like, if you remember, Diggle's stepdad, his last name is Stewart.
Yeah.
So I mean, like it.
I mean, it could.
I feel
mean,
like that tease was always there, and everyone had.
I think that's why they named the stepdad's last name Stewart, because they just kept teasing it for the entire like series, basically.
Yeah. But like again, the finale was pretty wrapped up. You know, like Renee becoming mayor,
Yes.
Dinah disappearing. They didn't really show that.
They didn't show that, and
because she does disappear the day after, so it makes sense that she.
The last you see her is her like riding the motorcycle out of the city.
Right. I was waiting for her to like just disappear,
just vanish. They should have done that.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Diggle's moving to Metropolis for Lila's job, so obviously
Could be in the new
Superman show. Yeah, that's totally likely. Or I'm sure they'll bring him back for Supergirl or Flash. I'm sure.
He's the one person out of all the shows where I think he loves being John Diggle. Like, that's something that, like, if he could do it for the rest of his life, I think he would.
Did you listen to Rosenbaum's podcast with Stephen Amell? I thought actually what Stephen Amell had to say was interesting, but like I feel like most not big actors, but most actors who are in those type of shows, like at a certain point, just hit their cap. Like, and I think Stephen Amell, like from that podcast, and I guess what I've just heard, he hit his cap. Like,
He
there's
also
only
did
so
all
much.
his own stunts, so I can
For-
see
yeah,
the
for-
entirety of the show.
The entirety?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
I remember he mentioned like the fight with Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah.
He did. Oh, he did. And
No,
I was
he
like,
did all his own stunts, and I can
That's cool,
see
man.
why he's like exhausted. 8 years working late nights, because most of the show's at night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, the entirety of I Feel Arrow is at night.
yeah. So
I'm sure they shoot the bunker stuff,
during
whatever.
the day, yeah, whatever
that's
they want. But so I could see it. I can understand why he was ready.
I
And
liked when they shut the lights off in the bunker and they go up and like the thing rises up. I was just like, later.
I mean, obviously, I don't think it's the last we've seen of the bunker. If they're gonna,
I don't really see a reason as to why any other show would go there unless they did something on Legends when they were there in some other reality.
Green Arrow and the Canaries.
Well, that, but we don't. That show's not official, right?
Not yet.
Yeah.
No.
So we're still waiting.
Yeah.
I'm curious why the wait.
Because I don't think it did well. Like, Arrow's ratings went down every episode.
Yeah, well, that's every.
No. For the 8th season, like, it went down significantly every episode. Where, like, the series finale was, like, one of the worst rated, like, ratings-wise, like, viewed episodes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It only got, like, 600,000 views.
Huh.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's kind of a weird time to end a show, too.
Mid-season.
Shows don't end in
Right.
January.
Yeah.
Not that, that detracts from me. I thought it was great. I really think it ended. Like, there was no loose threads, especially with, like, Oliver. Did you like the Felicity thing at the end? I'm sure you didn't.
It was nice.
Right. It's just like,
She died, and that's what happened.
Yeah, well, we got the answer. Remember we were talking about on the Crisis podcast, which you can listen to now as well, because I'm sure we have talked a little bit about Crisis, but we go full in depth there. But yeah, that's where she goes.
Yeah.
She goes to she dies.
Oliver's like afterlife.
Right, in
Yeah.
Queen Consolidated.
Where
First
he
place
first-
they met.
First place he saw her.
And that is in a flashback, probably in season 5 or 4.
Oh, I don't know.
When does he go back to Star City? It's like one of the last years of his flashbacks.
Is it 5 because he's with the Bratva in 5?
I don't remember.
Because he does. First 2 seasons are on the island.
Right.
Season 3, he's in like
China, Shanghai, somewhere.
Yeah.
With
Season 4, he's back on the
Katana.
island.
Yes.
So it's either 3 or 5. It might be 5.
No, because then Waller. I think Waller sends him there
Where?
to Star City or Starling.
Oh.
Remember? Remember Amanda Waller? She's in the
Yeah,
It's been a while.
it has.
She got
been
killed
while.
off a long time ago.
Yeah,
I
'cause
would
of
have liked to
Suicide
see.
Squad.
You know, she would probably make a cool Legends of Tomorrow villain.
Maybe.
That'd be cool if like she sent like the Suicide Squad like in time for things. And
Yeah, that would be cool.
I think that would be like an interesting dynamic.
I don't think they'd ever do it.
No,
but it
it's
would be
definitely
cool.
like a big cast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they did the Legion of Doom, but that was again like 3 people.
Right.
But yeah, I guess let's talk about Arrow as a whole. We can still go back to the final season though. Well, even though we didn't talk about, we'll talk.
Yeah, we got time.
I think Arrow is definitely a show. Like it fucking started it all. So I looked when it started in 2012.
Yep.
We're pre-Avengers. We're pre-Daredevil.
It wasn't pre-Avengers.
Yeah, it was. Avengers was 2013.
Avengers was 2012.
You sure?
100%. May 2012.
Okay.
Yeah. So it wasn't pre-Avengers.
Excuse me. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Avengers had just released.
Yeah. Still.
Daredevil hadn't come out.
No.
Marvel's Netflix shows were non-existent. Yeah. Arrow, for all intents and purposes, was that first modern day comic book show that like took off. And I didn't get on until season 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was on from the first episode.
Good for you.
Yeah, because like I thought, obviously Smallville.
Right.
So I was like, oh, Green Arrow, and I always thought they were going to bring the same guy back. And then it was like, oh, this new guy, Stephen Amell. I'm like, son of a bitch, who's this guy? And then I remember seeing him in Blue Mountain State. You ever watch that show?
Yeah.
He's the quarterback in one episode.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, seriously, this guy? And then I started watching it. I was like, oh, his acting wasn't great in season 1.
And he's in, like, he even talks in Rosenbaum's podcast, like, excellent peak shape of his life.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. He's ripped for that first season. But that first season is so nitty gritty and so good. But, like, what I think is really special about Arrow is no matter where they do the Green Arrow again, I hope they do him in the movies because it'll be different. I think Stephen Amell's Green Arrow is so not comic book that anything they do from here on, obviously they're going to look at Stephen Amell's portrayal of Arrow. But whatever the story is, it's going to be different. There's no way they're going to try to do the same thing because, and again, the origin for Green Arrow and like where he comes from in the comics is so much different from what they did in the show.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Oliver Queen is like a Joker. Like, he is a goofball character. He is not dark and serious.
So then, like, how does he become the Green Arrow?
The origin story with Lian Yu is similar.
Okay.
I'm talking about the sense like he's not like this brooding, like hardcore vigilante.
Well, the whole point of Arrow was like they basically made it the Dark Knight version of
right, but the Green Arrow was never that.
Right,
in
and
the
that's
comics.
not, like Smallville. He wasn't really serious either.
And like, hey, you know, as much as I don't like it, and we've talked about it before, I hate the fact that they didn't do the like Black Canary and Green Arrow like relationship. Like, for all intents and purposes, like they kind of botched Laurel really hard.
Yeah,
and I think they realized that, like just like the way the Earth 1 Laurel ended up, it's just like, nah.
Yeah,
I would have liked to at least see her survive, and I would have loved like their relationship to continue because they're kind of like that duo. So again, if they do Green Arrow again, they can do Black Canary differently. It's not like they really, when you look at the Flash, I feel Grant Gustin's Flash is very what the Flash is in the comics in a way.
I think isn't he more serious on the show than he is in the comics?
No, I mean, but like Barry isn't that serious all the time.
He's pretty serious.
He can be serious, but that show can be very jokey.
I would say like the first like 2-3 seasons, yeah, but like last like 2-3 seasons have been pretty
right. But we've
serious.
also had Crisis looming.
Yeah,
so that's something.
Yeah,
but you know, Ezra Miller's Flash is. You know, I think the jokey aspect that you know is taken to another degree, but like whatever you do for the Flash, you're going to be comparing it to Grant Gustin hardcore because They did the Reverse Flash. They've
Right.
done all this stuff. But I feel like Arrow, whatever they do, they can look at what Stephen Amell did and what the CW did with that show, but I feel like they can really do something different, and whoever does it will probably do something different. I don't think they'll make Arrow and be like, yeah, we're going to do something similar to the show. I just don't see that happening.
Well, no, I mean,
Which is
obviously-
good, because then we'll get different interpretations
Right.
of the character.
Right.
Whereas, like, Grant Gustin and Ezra Miller Flash are pretty close to each other. I wouldn't say they're too... I mean, we haven't seen Ezra Miller that much. But, like, for all... Like, they're pretty close. Wouldn't you agree?
I feel like Ezra Miller's more like jokey and lighthearted than Grant Gustin's, but
Yeah. And, like, that character, like, and it's just, like, you know... You can... You obviously, like, we've seen... You can do Green Arrow differently, but can you do the Flash all that differently? It's like, it kind of has to, you know... His mom has to die. That's
Right.
something that always has to happen. He's a little lighthearted, but he's serious. Has to go up against the Reverse Flash. That's just, like, the thing. They have to do the Reverse Flash. With
Yeah.
Arrow, he doesn't have that defining villain. Like, he has Merlin, but, like, even Merlin in the comics is a lot different than it is in the show. He's not the Dark Archer. He's just called Merlin.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't Tommy the Dark Archer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But, yeah, it's just, like, they did, like, Count Vertigo, another villain who's, like, really... He is, like, a magic user from Markovia, I'm pretty sure he's from. And, like, Arrow did him totally differently and multiple times.
How about Prometheus? Was he an Arrow villain, or was
Prometheus is a totally different character in the
Really?
comics. There's another character named Prometheus, and he's not like an
like if
Arrow
they did
villain.
like a Prometheus, like obviously if they build up like the Arrow cinematic, movies, and like did like a Prometheus at the end, like the end of trilogy, I feel like that'd be awesome because I loved season 5.
Right. I think season 5 was like the best of the later seasons. Prometheus was just so good.
Oh my god,
Second
second best villain.
I think one of my favorite scenes of Arrow is like when he's interrogating him, when you find out he's Adrian and Adrian is interrogating Oliver, and he gets him to admit like he liked to kill people, and like so he's like, I killed them and I liked it,
Yeah.
and I was just like, oh my god, like this is good,
Yeah.
and I don't think I expected it at all because
After how bad
for
season
me,
4 was.
yeah, with Damien Dark,
Yeah.
Like how can you beat Slade Wilson? Deathstroke for me, like Deathstroke and Prometheus are my two villains of the whole show.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Merlin's good, but
They overused.
and
him.
Ra's al Ghul is
Raish.
like Ra's Raz, whatever you want to fucking call it.
Raish.
You know, he's not an Arrow villain, and
No.
like that whole season really wasn't about him. It was kind of more about what Oliver was going through
Yeah.
with the League. Damien Dark.
So bad.
I like his character. I just don't think he was good for that.
We can we both agree that that's the worst season of Arrow?
Yes.
Okay.
110%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Without a fact. So then Prometheus.
Deathstroke.
No. Well, yeah, Deathstroke. But who's after Prometheus?
Ricardo Diaz.
I don't. I didn't really like Ricardo Diaz.
And
He's
I
just
hated
like
that I was there for 2 seasons.
he was very just like basic. We had Caden James for that half season, who was pretty cool. I like Michael Emerson.
You know what? I might take it back, dude. I think season 7 might be the worst season.
Really?
Yeah, season 7. Literally, they
it's
had
just
Ricardo
kinda-
Diaz for half a season.
Yeah, and
And
Slapside. I love the Slapside stuff.
That was great.
Yeah.
But then Emiko was the villain in the second half, and she might be the worst villain. I take it back.
Another character who, so Emiko in the comics is not necessarily a villain.
who also comes back in the finale.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, which I liked.
Yeah, and she seemed like a whole different person.
Yeah, like Emiko in the comics is, she's a lot younger than Oliver, but she's not like Shadow is actually her mother.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Shadow in the comics again, totally different. Like
Yeah.
like Thea doesn't exist in the comics.
Thea doesn't exist?
She's not a comic book character. Speedy is.
But isn't Speedy his
Arsenal.
sister?
No, Speedy's Arsenal.
So he doesn't have a sister in the comics.
Emiko.
That's the only sister.
Pretty sure.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty positive. Thea Queen is not a comic book character. Emiko is. Emiko is, his half sister.
Right.
Who we're talking about? Not Emiko, Thea. Oh, Roy, the arm. Loved
Yeah,
it.
That was cool.
I mean,
That was
that's
cool.
comic book
Yeah.
arsenal. So, seeing Roy Harper get the arm was cool. And
And then his future changed because he proposed to Thea and she accepted, so he's not going to end up on the island, I hope. Well, that future's gone.
yeah, it is gone. So that doesn't happen.
Yeah, so.
Deathstroke is still on Lian Yu, right?
Is he?
Pretty sure. It's an Argus prison, right?
Does he exist?
Yeah.
Does he?
The flashback in the first episode when he, instead of Moira dying, he cuts out of the thing. It happened.
But Oliver rebirthed the universe, brought back a ton of people. He could obviously kill off a ton of people.
Would he do that though?
To keep peace?
But I think all that has to happen because the Green Arrow's legacy has to happen. Notice how he didn't, they talk about it. Why didn't he bring back Dad? Because, Robert Queen. Because Robert Queen's death is a huge part of Oliver becoming the Arrow and the Hood in the beginning. And the list,
Yeah.
He has to die. He's like, Barry's mom has to die. The Waynes have to die. Like, there's just characters that are just crucial to, that story.
Does that mean he can't kill off Deathstroke?
No, not necessarily, but I don't know.
Obviously, they're never going to bring him back.
Oh, no, but they did because they reshot that scene. They reshot that,
Oh, no, I know that.
which is pretty.
But I'm
dope.
saying,
no, they're
like
not
how
gonna,
you have the whole Deathstroke angle in Green Arrow and the Canaries.
Yeah, no, they're not going to bring.
They're not going to bring back Slade.
No.
Or his son.
Grant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
Grant is a comic book character as well. Jericho is also his son, and then Ravager, who they did differently in Arrow. Whoever's Ravager, you remember her?
No.
She's the girl he's hooking up with, who works for Queen Consolidated, and then she
Summer Glau?
yeah, she's Ravager.
Oh.
She's cute.
Oh. She was my favorite.
Out of obviously we're gonna say we like Diggle.
Love Diggle.
Obviously,
Love Diggle.
I think Diggle is a fan favorite. Again, conception of the show,
Yeah.
and is now in the comics because of that. He's in the latest run of Arrow, of Green Arrow. I'm like, that's awesome. I love what was another one? Harley Quinn started in the animated series. She was not a thing until then.
Chloe Sullivan from Smallville.
Who?
Chloe Sullivan,
Who's that?
the sex cult girl.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They
Her.
added her to the comics. I'm pretty sure.
Who's her character?
Chloe Sullivan.
Oh, Chloe. That's not the actor's name.
I don't know what the actress's name is. The cult girl.
Yeah,
Sex cult.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so out of Team Arrow, we know we talked about Felicity.
Not a fan.
I loved Sarah when she was the Black Canary. I loved Laurel when she was the Black Canary, and I loved Laurel as Black Siren, Black Canary.
Hate Laurel.
Really?
I can't stand her.
Like Earth 1 Laurel? Or both of them?
Earth 2 is a lot better than Earth 1. But Earth 1 Laurel to me was
She's definitely a stereotype kind of character.
she just kept getting so annoying throughout. I think she annoyed me more than Felicity.
Really?
Yeah, she was my Lana Lang.
Maybe in the beginning.
She was just
Because
so
Felicity
annoying.
in the beginning is not bad. And
No.
once they get in a relationship, it's I can't do this, man.
Yeah. Which season 5 they're not in a relationship?
Yeah, they're not together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
She's living with another dude.
Yeah. He's a cop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not a fan of Earth 1 Laurel. When they killed her, I was actually very happy. She just annoyed me so much. She was always so depressed,
Yeah.
And I get it. A lot of stuff happened to you. Your sister died. Your dad died. Cool. But God,
Sad.
you just keep bringing my mood down. But Earth 2 was cool.
And then I liked Dinah Drake. I liked all the black,
I like Dinah.
all the canaries.
like Dinah.
I thought they did a good job. Renee, Wild Dog, I think was good at points. And same with Mr. Terrific Curtis. I feel I like them sometimes, and I didn't like them others.
I liked Curtis when he first started before he became Mr. Terrific. He was just helping Felicity. I thought that was cool. but I could never buy him as a vigilante.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. He really never had, like, seemed like he had the chops for it.
They made up the whole backstory, like, maybe it's not a backstory, like, made up one, but, like, he was an Olympian and stuff like that. And even then, like, he's just too nerdy to be a vigilante.
It's not even that, but, like, he's too nerdy to be in the field.
Yeah.
Like, he's definitely, like, a Felicity type character.
And I liked it when he was that, like, just helping Felicity and being, like, part of the team and, like, you know, them doing stuff together. But then, like, they brought him out in the field and it was just like, It was a little overcrowded, like, season 5, 6,
Oh, yeah. Team Arrow, I definitely think got a little too fat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Team Flash is great because it's just 3, sometimes 4 if Wally's there.
Right. And they add, like, every season there's always a Wells, and then maybe they add, like, one other. But, like, Caitlin and Cisco are,
what's
like...
his name? Elongated and whatever his
name
is.
Dude.
Ralph.
Yeah.
I like Ralph. I don't mind Ralph.
I think the first 2 episodes, I remember texting you, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. And then I was like, I fucking love
I like Ralph.
Elongated Man.
He's funny.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah.
But back to Arrow.
Okay, sorry.
No, it's okay. Yeah, I think like most of Arrow is good. I think like season 4 is just kind of this low point, and like Team Arrow is good for the most part. I think a lot of the arcs are really good. What they do with Thea is cool. With Roy, Roy I feel like stays away from the show for too long, and then they bring him back for like a little bit, and then they can him again.
Yeah. Well, he left to finish filming Teen Wolf because he came back from like the last 2 seasons of Teen Wolf.
Okay. Was that a CW show or no?
No, that was MTV.
Oh, yeah.
So he was in the first 2 seasons.
Tom
Welly?
Hodgson?
Yes.
Yeah, he was on that too.
He was Derek in Teen Wolf.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's Roy's name in real life?
Colton Haynes.
Yes. He
Hayes?
was
Hayes. Hayes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was in the first 2 seasons, and like they made him to be like the big bad guy in season 3. But then he signed on to Arrow, so he disappeared, and then they just like shrug it off.
Mm-hmm.
And then like he comes back the last 2 seasons, and that's why he was out of Arrow. I guess he like enjoyed doing that more, or maybe they paid him more. I don't know.
I mean, like, and it's not like him leaving kind of made sense, but he was gone for a while.
Yeah. Wasn't he gone up until season 7?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think he came back for one episode in season 5. Remember?
Maybe the Prometheus, like. When they go back to Lian Yu, I can't remember.
Yeah.
But he came back for 1 episode. Or was it the episode where they need to like convince everyone that he wasn't Green Arrow? Was that why they brought Roy back?
No, that's when he gets in jail. In season 3 or 4? Maybe it's season 3. When he goes to jail for being the Green Arrow.
Oh.
Even though he's not. Or the Hood.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah.
I like how the name evolves. From the Hood
to Arrow
and to Green Arrow.
Yeah.
And then but like the first episode, Merlin says to Oliver, like, or I think he calls him Emerald Archer or something like that, or it's either Green Arrow or Emerald Archer.
I don't think it's Green Arrow.
Okay, it's definitely Emerald Archer.
That
then
makes more sense.
And he says it to him, and I'm like,
No, yeah. Boy was good. Again, Ragdoll, like.
What the flashbacks I think were pretty good. I never, some of them are kind of boring. I think like when they go back to the island, like that one was like ugh. But when they're first there with
first 2 seasons.
Shadow and who's the guy he finds there originally? I forget his name. He's in the last season, the Asian guy.
Shadow's dead.
Yeah, what's his name?
I can't remember.
Yeah, but him.
Yeah.
Like that dynamic, and then of course we haven't talked about Anatoly, KG Beast. The Bradva.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Anatoly.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know it's KG Beast, right?
KG Beast?
Yeah. He's a comic book character.
Really?
Yeah. You know the in Batman v Superman, the Russian guy? That's KG Beast too. Anatoly Kanayev.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yep. KG Beast is just like a goofy DC character. I don't know.
Okay.
They're not in Batman v Superman and Arrow, they're nothing like him in the comics. He's like a big, like he kind of looks like Bane in a way, and he wears like a Russian like kind of like not like a wrestling costume. He almost looks like a wrestler, but it's not. But like, yeah. Anyway, There you go. Here's your fun fact. You really didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, big comic book character.
Well, you learn something every day.
Yeah, but Anatoly in season 2, flat. Yeah, so
Wait, Anatoly's not in season 2.
yeah, he is in the flashbacks. He's on the island.
Anatoly's on the island?
Yeah,
Oh, is
with the
he in that
Mirakuru.
in those cells with him?
yes, that's where they
Okay.
first meet, and he
Yeah.
leaves, and then they go back, and then he goes to Russia, and they
Right.
meet again, and then he's in the later seasons as like a villain.
Wait a minute. Are you sure?
Yeah,
Because like I'm rewatching 5 now, and he introduces himself in the second episode of season 5 as Anatoly, and he says we're the Bratva.
look it up. He's 100% in season 2.
No way.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Just look up like Arrow Anatoly, and you should be fine. And maybe look for like first appearance. Yeah, he's on the maybe he's in season 1, but he's in the flashbacks because that's where Deathstroke is in the flashbacks for season 1 with Edward Fires and Billy Wintergreen. And then season 2 of the flashbacks is the Mirakuru thing with Anatoly and Slade again. And then that's when obviously Deathstroke is the villain of that season. And then you see how he loses his eye.
Oh yeah, true. Hold on. Occupation, he's a bar owner, if you were wondering. Codename KG Beast.
Told you. Told you. You think I don't know?
It doesn't say when he came in. I'm gonna look it up on David Nichol. What is this?
What are you looking it up on?
I'm just gonna look it up on IMDb. Look his name up.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
David.
Oh, you know his name?
There he is.
Season 2, $20.
2013, season 2. You're right.
I told you.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't come back till season 5.
Right. Yeah. Or maybe he guest stars in a few. Maybe.
I mean-
The Bratva definitely are in it, but
yeah.
not with him.
Yeah.
Because remember, I think it is in season 2 when he joins the Bratva in Star City or like infiltrates them.
He does that in season 2?
He does. Yeah.
I haven't seen
maybe
season 2 in a while.
Maybe it's season 3.
Season 3.
You know who a villain I totally forgot about? Anarchy.
Who?
Anarchy. He has like a messed up face and he wears the mask, and he goes after Thea a bunch. Season 4. It's with Damien Dark.
Oh, dude, I watched it once and I forgot about it ever since. Other than Damien Dark, and I'm pretty sure that's the season the Queen Mansion got blown up.
Yes.
That's all I remember from that season, and that's all I want to remember.
Yeah, I don't
It
remember
was
much.
so bad.
I know Vixen was in an episode.
Yes.
The Mari McCabe version of her, not the they don't even have the other version of Vixen on Legends. I don't like that Charlie character. It's weird.
What character?
Remember how they have the 1940s Justice Society version of Vixen on
Yeah.
Legends? Well, she dies. Or she goes back to her time.
Yeah, she.
And
I
then
don't think she dies.
no, she goes back to her
Yeah.
time. And then a version a shapeshifter takes her form, so it's the same actress but a totally different character. It's just kind of weird.
Oh.
And her name's Charlie. And it's just what? Anyway, I guess talking about the crossovers would make sense too. The first crossover is the Flash versus Arrow,
Yeah,
which is cool.
that was cool. That's the first time
Captain
Oliver-
Boomerang is in that.
Didn't Oliver shoot Barry in the back?
Yeah.
Was that crossover?
Yes.
Yeah.
Trying to think who's the main villain? Is it just Captain Boomerang?
I think
Because it really
might be.
wasn't about the villain. It was really
No.
about them crossing over for the first
Yeah.
time. The second one was the Legends one with Vandal Savage, and then we had Hawkman and
Yes.
Hawkgirl.
That one was.
Yeah, kind of.
Third one was Invasion.
Yep, Supergirl.
Yeah, that was cool.
Third one was Crisis on Earth X,
Yes, that was dope.
or fourth.
That was good. I liked Crisis on Earth X.
Yeah,
That was cool.
and then we had Elseworlds, and then we had Crisis.
Yes.
Oh, something I think they could totally do. Oh no, wait. There's an event. Oh shit. I knew it and I had it and I was thinking about it yesterday. There's an event in the comics that they haven't done yet that they could totally do, and I was thinking about it. Anyway, I forgot.
Oh.
What else about Arrow? Broad thoughts, or want to talk about something specifically? That's fine. I mean,
Like,
it's hard. It's hard to remember a show.
yeah,
I will admit
been on
that.
for 88 years.
But you know, this is the first show that's ended since Game of Thrones, for like a series. Game of Thrones ended, and I
yeah.
and I would say the finale for Arrow was much better than Thrones.
I'm not a Game of Thrones guy, so I wouldn't know. I don't think I've seen the first season. That's about it.
Really?
Yeah, I never got into it. Couldn't do it. Other things. Season 6 was bad. I hated Ricardo Diaz.
Yeah, we mentioned that.
Well, we mentioned season 7, but season 6 we didn't really mention.
I just think the villains after Prometheus just kind of fall apart because they kind of ran out of ideas.
Well, there really was only 2 villains after Prometheus.
Caden James and Diaz. Caden James is a half season. Yeah. But again, Ricardo Diaz is still there. She's a half season villain, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we go straight to season 8, which I love season 8.
Yeah, I will admit, like, that first episode
Was awesome.
is Katana? Or no? What's the first episode of? Oh, no.
He goes back home. That's the first episode. He goes back.
Of season 8?
Yeah. He's back home. His mother's alive. His sister's there. Diggle's his driver.
Right.
Locks the doors, and he's like, I'm not going to let that happen again. And then you find out that Cisco was able to send him there with him, I think.
Yeah. Is it Earth 2, though?
Yes.
Yeah, because it's Earth 2.
It's Earth 2 because Earth 2 gets destroyed at the end.
Right. I'm trying to remember. I'm like, it's
Yeah.
a flashback because then they flash back and they or not flashback. They go through the portal. Earth 2's destroyed.
Yeah.
And then they're with Katana for an episode.
Yes.
While we find out that Lila's working with
Monitor.
yeah, Marnovu and Black Siren or Black Canary is Laurel's trying to figure out what happened to her Earth. Yeah.
Yes.
It was Earth 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a really cool. That might be my favorite.
And China White comes back.
Yes.
And we haven't talked about Bronze Tiger either, or the Suicide Squad for that matter.
Yeah, they
Because
will.
we do see, it's Deadshot, who has total like a character that was, well, he died, but like, isn't it funny how they did Deadshot?
Yeah.
This is pre-Suicide Squad, the movie.
Yeah.
too.
And I think that's why they had to kill him off.
Right. Cupid, Bronze Tiger, Deadshot, Harley Quinn was teased
Her laugh.
at a point.
Yeah.
Who else is in there? Is that it?
I
I don't think China White is part of the Suicide Squad.
No. Who's? Remember? Was it season 1 or season 2 where Oliver's with that one girl and her like family's part of the mob? What is her name?
Helena Bertinelli,
Yes.
Huntress. She's in Birds of Prey.
Was she part of the Suicide Squad?
No.
Okay.
She was a short stint in season 1.
Was it
Right?
season 1?
Yeah. And she never came back.
No.
Never, which is interesting. Because she's a big character.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see her in Birds of Prey.
Who's playing her in Birds of Prey?
Um,
The chick from 27 Cloverfield.
maybe. I've never seen that movie still.
Really?
She plays a Ramona Flowers.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Winstead? Mary
Yeah.
Elizabeth Winstead?
Yes.
Yeah, there it is.
That's her name. Okay. Yeah, that'd be cool.
I don't know who played Huntress in Arrow.
I don't know either. She's one of those like people
Let's find out.
that have been through a couple CW shows, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, the entire CW cast has been through a couple CW shows.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Huntress Arrow. Wow, it's been a while. I don't even remember what she looks like.
I remember what she looks like.
Like I remember she.
I rewatched season
I know
one
what
not
she
too long
looks
ago.
like.
I watched maybe like over the summer, I guess it was. I watched season 1 and 2, and then I stopped, and now I started watching season 5.
Jessica DeGuao.
Yeah,
Don't know who that is.
sure.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Gooch, if you had to rank the seasons, what would you rank them? Because I think we have a pretty similar rank.
Since you actually did it, you tell me yours.
Okay, I'll read them off to you.
Because I didn't rank the seasons.
I think we would agree. Maybe
Yeah,
there
I
might
feel
be
like we're
one
gonna
off.
agree.
So season 2 is obviously the best season.
Yeah. And you know who else said that?
Everyone.
No. John Diggle's actor said that. He's like,
really?
season 2 is the best
David
season.
Ramsey, is that his name?
Yeah, David Ramsey. Yeah, he was like, season 2 is the best season. Like unabashedly, yeah, it's the best season.
Well, a close second for me is season 5.
Prometheus.
I love Prometheus.
Yeah.
I think he's very underrated.
Can I guess what's next?
Yes.
8.
No.
1.
Yes.
8.
No. Actually, it should be. I gotta switch those up. Okay, hold on.
Season 1 of The Flash is definitely the best, which is funny.
Okay. So 2, 5, 1, 8. Then what?
2, 5, 1, 8, 3.
Yes.
6.
No.
4.
No. 7. 7.
I thought 7 was going to be
6,
lower.
4.
7.
4 is awful.
Yeah. 4
But
is
2, 5,
bad.
1, 8, 3.
It was really like they just tried to force like a magical character into Arrow, and it's like this doesn't really work that
I
well.
think because they figured, we're gonna do it with, or it worked with the Flash and like the metahumans and everything, and people loved the first season of the Flash.
Yeah, but like,
so they thought,
the
maybe
Speed Force isn't magic. But you're right.
the
they need-
metahumans
it's still not magic.
was Damien Dark just magic?
Yeah.
Oh,
I like the way they introduce him though at the end of season 3. Like they tee him up in like the last 2 episodes. You don't remember that?
no.
Yeah. So they deal with the Oliver being the demon's head and stuff, and then like at the end of the season, like this guy, people start name dropping Damien Dark, and like you see him, and he's in an episode or 2, and then they tee it up. I'm like, that's an
Is
interesting
the end
way.
of season 3 when Oliver and Felicity like leave Star City?
Yes.
Okay. And they come back because of Damien Dark?
Yes.
That son of a bitch. Yeah. I don't know. What else you want to talk about?
I don't know. I gave some broad thoughts. Did you want to do that? Like just talking about like, the importance of the show.
I mean, obviously, without Arrow, you wouldn't have anything else.
Right.
So
It's funny to think that Arrow spun off Flash,
the
Legends,
Arrowverse.
Supergirl, Batwoman,
Superman,
and Lois, Stargirl, all that shit.
Green Arrow, Canaries. To be honest, without Arrow, I don't think we'd have a DC universe like the website where you have Doom Patrol and
Right.
Titans and stuff like that. Like without Arrow, you wouldn't have Titans.
I really agree with that.
And
I think Stephen Amell like brought like an interesting take to the character, did a great job. And again, anytime they're gonna do Arrow or Green Arrow in anything, he'll be the base.
Yes,
100%. which is very cool to think about.
Yeah,
that
a guy from a TV show.
Yeah, because it's the first. I mean, like sorry, Justin Hartley for Smallville, but
I mean,
not the base for Green Arrow.
No.
Like now you have an entire show to look back and like, okay, like what did they do?
And it's crazy. Like CW's done a pretty great job with casting, because I feel like if you ever try to do a Supergirl movie, Melissa Benoist or however you say Benoist.
Yeah,
I thought it was like that. Oh, no,
I would understand, but Benoist.
But
fancy
Benoist. She's like
moist.
She's a great Supergirl.
She is, but I don't think she'd work in a movie.
No. And I don't think many of them would.
Right? Yeah, I would agree.
Like
they're good on TV, but I wouldn't say like
Stephen Amell might be the only one where I think he would work well in a movie, and maybe Grant, maybe.
Nah, I don't think Grant. No.
Maybe he might be able to pull it off.
Maybe
Stephen
now.
Amell. His acting progressively got better throughout the years.
Oh yeah,
like season 1 and 2.
Arrow was his first, I would say, big gig.
Oh, 100%.
And he would probably say that too.
Yeah,
that was what put him on the map.
I mean, and he hasn't really had anything since it. He had
but
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
He's been doing a TV show. You know how hard it is to do stuff when you do 24. When you do 24 episode TV shows and you're shooting all year, there's only so much you can do. Like I know Grant Gustin and Tom Cavanaugh like do like short films, but like look at most of those actors. None of them are doing like really anything big. Maybe a movie in between, and like that's
well, Chris Pratt did it
with Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
Yeah, but is that 24 episodes on cable?
22. Yeah. It was on NBC.
Also, how are they filming that show? It is a comedy. It's probably not as hard as filming Arrow.
No, but he still did it.
True.
You know? I mean, people can do it. I mean, Stephen Amell did
People
it with...
can't do it.
Stephen Amell did it with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. But again, he probably got that fitting into his schedule pretty well.
Yeah.
Did you watch that?
Oh, yeah.
I was still
I only
working.
watched it
I was
'cause
still I was still working at Regal at the time, and I was like, I just gotta watch some of
Yeah.
this for Stephen Amell.
Awful.
Oh,
Stephen Amell was great. Don't get me wrong, bud. Awful movie, though.
awful movie. That's what I heard.
It
The
was-
first one was bad too, right?
Oh, yeah. I don't know why the first one made
You know
money.
who plays one of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Yeah.
Hawk.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was on Collider, and he was talking about it, and he was like, dude, the production for that movie was terrible. Like,
Really?
working on that movie was horrible. Like, he was just talking about how bad it was.
How about Stephen Amell talking about like how pissed off he was when he's sitting there dying in the bunker, and like Grant and Melissa like had just wrapped up, and he was like arguing to like have them there for his last scene where he has to get like emotional and like give a speech, but they worked too many hours and they had to be back the next day. And he's like, I'm sitting over here, the reason any of this is possible, and you can't even give me like the courtesy of extending them another hour for me to film this scene so I don't have to cry in front of tennis balls.
You know what's sad? Hearing the fact that like the crossovers weren't fun to shoot for him.
Yeah.
I haven't heard Grant or Melissa talk about it. I don't think Melissa is very chatty about Supergirl.
No.
I've never heard her
but
Grant
they-
has definitely openly talked about Flash.
But they don't
And
have,
Stephen Amell.
like, their scenes aren't as intense as Oliver's, because Barry's just running, so he's not really there. They just put a little zoom green, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Oliver's fighting, and he does all of his own stunts. So, like, that's got to be tiring,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine. Like, again, he's like, you know, in that Rosenbaum podcast. I forget what his podcast is called. Check that podcast out. It is good though. Yeah, he's like, you know, the crossovers are miserable to shoot, and it's like I could imagine what it's like. You're literally crossing over with 5 other shows, and
Yeah.
you're dealing with like 5 other production teams for
Yes.
each show, and like I'm like I couldn't imagine what that is behind the scenes. But he did say that's for him. It's kind of shitty.
Right. I mean, like I said, I don't know how.
And he is the, you know, besides him and Flash and Supergirl, he's the biggest one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
He
so
is the
he's in
biggest
every.
one.
So he's in a lot of
all
scenes.
3 of them are, like, if you go back, they're probably in every scene, at least one of them.
Yeah.
So, and Crisis on Earth X, they had to play 2 versions of themselves, so.
Yeah. I can only. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's not going to miss some of that stuff. Obviously.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll probably miss the people, obviously.
Right.
He worked with them for 10 years or 8 years.
And I'm sure, like again, like I said during the Crisis podcast, when they end Flash, Green Arrow,
I don't think
Oliver
so.
Queen will come back for something.
He
In
sounded
the Speed
so
Force, anything.
bitter in that podcast with Rosenbaum, where I don't think he's going to come back. Like,
I don't think he was bitter. I think he was just like ready. He just wants to move on.
He just sounded like he was disgusted with it, and he just is ready to just, like, he was talking about how tired he is and how he doesn't want to do it anymore, but yet he's literally starting filming his new show in March. So, like, how tired could you be?
I mean, but is that show a lot less than Arrow?
No,
No.
it's more demanding, because he said the first episode alone, he has 3 like wrestling scenes where he's actually wrestling, and he does all his own stunts. So it's probably more demanding than Arrow is.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. He just didn't seem happy.
Yeah, I did catch that vibe, which made me kind of upset.
And you heard what he said about how the only reason he came back for season 8 was because it would be fiscally irresponsible for him not to. Like, they had to have offered him like probably $250,000-300,000 per episode to come back.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only reason he came back.
It's like very...
It sucks.
Yeah. I feel like there's got to be like... But like that season is all about wrap-up. The whole season is.
100%.
Yeah. Like for not just his show, but his character.
Yes.
I couldn't see... Like, really? Like, I don't think he would just be like, no, I'm not coming back. I really don't.
He did not want to.
I'm sure he didn't want to do it, but, like, I'm sure if the conversation was this is going to be the last season, it's going to be half, like, I'm sure they would have come to an agreement.
So it was supposed to be, like, I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be longer than just, like, 10 episodes. And then he was like, I'm not doing it. And
right,
like,
that's a lot.
Like,
a full season order would have been too much.
Like, they went back and forth for a while.
Because, like, what are they going to do for half a year after Crisis? You know? It only makes sense that it ends after it.
Yeah. Unless you do Crisis later.
Or, you know, you did an entire half season of Crisis. Like
that was never going to happen.
But, honestly, Flash and Arrow are an entire half season of Crisis.
Yeah.
They're very Crisis-focused.
Well, they just lead into it.
Right.
It's not like it's all about Crisis.
Yeah, in a way it is. In a way it's not.
Arrow season 8 pretty much is. Yeah.
And in Flash, they talk about it every episode.
Yeah, well, because he's going to, like, supposedly die. So I can understand that. I don't know. It sucks that he wasn't happy in the end.
Yeah.
He made money, though.
I'm sure once he's disconnected from it, he'll be better about it, you know? He's fresh off the boat. He's a little like, all right, I'm fucking done. Leave me alone.
Yeah. I mean, he had a freaking panic attack on the podcast.
Yeah.
That's insane. Green Arrow. All the man that he is.
I don't think that's surprising.
That surprised me. Yeah.
I guess we'll wrap it there. And I guess closing thoughts, Arrow has its ups, has its downs.
Definitely.
But a great show, a great introduction to superhero characters, comics on TV. Because, again, it really was the first. And not necessarily just DC, but in Marvel as well.
Even in the bads, like, I still liked watching it. Like, I'm going to miss it.
Right. And, like, when Flash goes off, I think that'll be another, like, hit. Like, Supergirl, not as much, but, like Flash and Arrow are the two,
right,
you know, pillars. Even
as much as they're
going
to try to make Supergirl and Batwoman, like, Batgirl.
Woman.
Yeah, it just doesn't hit as much as Arrow and
the Flash. Right.
So, it sucks, but...
Oh, yeah, I got to do the outro. I wish you're getting about that.
You got this, dude. You got this. You have it written down?
Yeah, because I don't do it. So, like, ever. If Trio's here, he does it.
He says he doesn't do it, but he did it last week, and here we are again.
Well, I forgot. Because, you know, I don't do it. You see me do that intro, I nail it, because I do it every time.
You do the intro very well.
Because I know it. That does it for us today, guys. Thank you so much for watching live at twitch.tv/Delco Nerd Network. You can find us on YouTube as well as most podcast services. Just search Delco Nerd Network. Drop us a review on iTunes. Always helps. 5 stars. Leave a comment. Tell me how great this podcast is, because any negative comments are not allowed. While you're at it, check us out on our socials at Delco Nerds on pretty much everything, Instagram and Twitter. All this info can be found at our site, DelcoNerdNetwork.com. For me, for Bill, I'm Gooch. Thanks for watching. Stay nerdy.